back into the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll run with Stevenson to begin the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Ravens, very strong last week. Squad improved to 2-0 on the young season.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. From the gun on third down, Ferguson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The Falcons send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, a pick 6 on the first play of the drive, and Charles, we have our first points of the game, making it 6-0.
And while it's only 6 points in the first quarter, it certainly takes a lot of pressure off of them, doesn't it? They're in the lead, they have control, now they just want to settle it and play their game and defend that advantage.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Holmes returning from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the counter now, it's Dobbins to about the 35, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He finds his man, complete. That's Ortiz. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Here's Jackson. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is that right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
After the sack on 1st down, Jackson. That's Isabella open on the right side. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Jackson's throw pulled in by Melton. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson over the middle. That's hauled in by Isabella. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second and 12, operating from the 39. Now Jackson. He finds his man, complete. That's Ortiz. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, there wasn't much of a window there, Charles. Had to deal with a couple of defenders, but able to find his big tight end.
And, partner, we know double coverage is a challenge for any player to try to defeat. But maybe it's a little easier if you're one of those big tight ends because you have a size advantage on just about anyone trying to cover you, and you use your body to create some space.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
2nd and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead. A give, Dobbins trying the right side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Ravens have moved out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
That means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Ferguson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
First play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Ortiz. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something.
Heads up.
To make it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. The 20, 10, 5. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now a throw here, hauled in. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1. Come on.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ferguson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. It'll only be a gain of 1 yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Throwing is Jackson.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
To throw on 2nd down, Ferguson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He's got his tight end fan. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, Aaron Donald just so strong they can't block him, and he records the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 42. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw on second down. Ferguson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll look to throw again. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo.
From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will close the gap down to 14.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
1 second, all that remains.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. On first down, Ferguson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ferguson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ortiz. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ortiz. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson.
He'll buy some time right. He finds his man complete. That's Ortiz.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Jackson now. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Ravens take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Falcons 10. Justin Tucker in the kickoff for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot...
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and find another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brought down at the 23-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. That's going to be caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. The end result, 21 yards.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Dobbins, touchdown, Baltimore. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone.
And my goodness, another interception. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
The drive starts with a carry by Stevenson.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
On the counter, it's Stevenson.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Well, you're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On 1st and 10, Ferguson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now this one complete on the slant route. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Ferguson. Throw left side complete. That's Davis.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Noah Fant with a catch on the crossing route.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Completes it to Davis.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
On second down, it's Stevenson.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after it.
On 3rd and 2, Ferguson. And now here is another interception.
And the Ravens are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Ortiz.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to us.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Bo Melton, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Ravens are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign.
Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you're probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Ready.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To throw on third down, Ferguson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Back to throw again.
Going right back to Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Let's go.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He'll dump this down to Stevenson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And Davis with it left side. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun, Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Ortiz. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and it was their defensive.
I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best,